Ilalaban kahit kanino, oo, simple lang ako at malabo mong magtipuhan. Kaya okay nang kahit sa FB mo lang mapusuan. Kasi di na mapigilan ng sariling mapaibig sa iyo. Ano ba to? Gusto ka laging
Hello guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. So this is Justin Bibilen, and today we're going to discuss about some common laboratory equipments that we can see inside the laboratory. And this is very important because as we are going to have our experiment, we will be dealing with a lot of laboratory equipments and apparatus so that we will be able to make the experiment easy and at the same time convenient. Okay, so what what are the laboratory equipments that we have here inside the laboratory? Okay, so we have here number one is a Bunsen burner. So a Bunsen burner is our sources of heat. So it is actually attached here with an in a gas outlet, which is actually you can have gasol or any source of gas that could make a combustion happen. Okay, the more the heat is colored into a non-luminous, okay, if it is a non-luminous, that means you cannot clearly see a flame, or it's actually like just like if you are viewing it on a normal day, it looks like it's invisible. Then the more it is non-luminous, then the more it is it has a very uh, hot, or it's very hot, and it's actually higher in temperature. Okay, so compared to luminous flame, just like your yellow flame or orange flame, so non-luminous flame are very hot compared, and it has higher temperature compared to non-luminous compared to luminous flame. Okay, at this portion of the Bunsen burner, this one, as you can see that it has actually have a curve here, a small curve, and you have a big triangular curve there. Okay, so a small curve there, this is actually where the hottest part of the flame is, at that point there. Okay, so that's basically the concept for Bunsen burner. It's actually sources of heat. So basically, this is used for gravimetric analysis, like you're going to char your sample. Yeah, charring or char your sample. That's the term there in gravimetric, where you make your sample on together with your filter paper to be completely be converted into ash, or to be burned, or to be ignited in a Bunsen burner, okay, or in a source of heat. Okay, so basically this is our source of heat for our experiment. Aside from, we have a hot plate. Okay, so number two is beaker. So beaker are useful as reaction container, or to hold liquid or solid samples. Okay, so they are also used to catch liquids from titrations and filtrates from filtering operations. Okay, so this usually holds your it's a container to hold a liquid or solid sample. So we have different uh, sizes of beaker. So I think we have also 10 ml beaker. We have also bigger sizes of beaker, like 1 liter beaker. We have also that. So usually it's just useful for holding liquids. Okay, and also we have Erlenmeyer flask. Erlenmeyer flask is also useful for holding liquid samples, and it's very this is the flask that is used in during filtration. Okay, this is actually used to catch liquids from, or to catch filtrates. Okay, to catch filtrates, and also for titration, it is actually used as a container. Okay, to from from the burette. So if the burette will drop some liquid, so the one that will catch those drop liquids from the burette is actually the Erlenmeyer flask. Okay, so this is actually used in titration or titrimetric analysis. Okay, for liquid funnel, it's it's common to us to use. So liquid funnels are just funneling liquids from one container to another, or it could be used as filtering when equipped with a filter paper. So we can put a filter paper here at the top of this portion here, this cylindrical portion there. Okay, so we can put filter paper, then this liquid funnel can be used as a as a container for filtering. Okay, then we have also a burette. Okay, so as what I have mentioned, so this is a burette. Okay, usually our burette here is a 50 ml burette. It's correct. So 50 ml. So this is actually used in titrimetric analysis. Okay, so a manual titrimetry or manual titrimetric analysis. So it has a an accurate amount of volume that is actually or precise amount of volume of liquid, or if you are adding liquids to a container, so it's actually a precise volume of that liquid. So the volume of liquid added can be determined to the nearest of 0.01 ml with practice. Of course, you need to practice this on how to use a burette, because it really needs a a it really needs an expertise to do this, because you have to adjust your or you have a correct position of your hands to do this, so that to you'll be able to the get the amount of liquid that you want to that you desire to have. Okay, and also that you'll be able to control whatever you will you will get, or you'll be able to control whatever amount that you want to have. Okay, on this portion here, or on this or the volume that you want to have. Okay, so you'll be able to control. So you need to have practice on how to use a burette. It's very important that you'll be able to know how to use it, because during your titrations, and especially in the analytical chemistry, and there are a lot of titrimetric analysis there, so you should know how to use this glassware. Okay, so that's burette. Okay, so graduated pipette. So there are actually two types of pipette. You have graduated pipette and volumetric pipette. Okay, so for graduated pipette, so it's actually have its own graduation. Okay, from one, so if it is 10 ml, then the graduation for this would have a total of 10 ml. Okay, so it has its own value per line there. So the difference there is that for volumetric pipette, you don't have your graduation. So if it is 10 ml, then it could only carry 10 ml. Okay, at this portion here, it has a line where the 10 ml is that would be the line where that is the volume for the 10 ml. Okay, so for volumetric pipette, there's actually a indicator there, that or a line that they already put. Okay, so that would be the volume where the 10 ml lies. Okay, so you don't have any, like if you are getting only 5 ml, so you cannot use, if volumetric pipette is just 10 ml, you cannot use this to to transfer liquids, to transfer 5 ml liquids. Okay, you cannot use this because it is a 10 ml volumetric, and it has no graduation for other volumes like 5 ml or 3 ml. Okay, If this is a 10 ml, then you can only transfer 10 ml. Aside if you have 5 ml volumetric pipette or so on. But if you have graduated pipette, then you can have 1 ml, you can have 2 ml, you can have 3 ml, you can have 4 ml, 5 ml, and so on. Okay, so that's their difference between graduated and volumetric pipette. Okay, so you have also pipette pump. So pipette pump are actually used to, because you in drawing liquids for pipette. So I haven't mentioned what is actually the function for pipette. So pipette are actually used to dispense small quantities of liquids. Okay, it's actually used to dispense small quantities of liquids, and you can the way that you have to dispense the liquid is that you will use a pipette pump. So never use that is a rule, also a safety rule in the laboratory. Never use your mouth as a suction valve. Okay, that you have to draw liquids from another container using this pipette, then you use your mouth there to suck that liquid. No, that's a very big no. Okay, you have to use a pipette pump. Okay, so we have also other pipette pump here, that the one that is used for babies in getting rid of their mucus in their nose, the aspirator. So you can use the aspirator as your suction valve here. Okay, then we have graduated cylinder. So it's very basic. Graduated cylinders are for measurement of an amount of liquid. So the volume of liquid can be estimated to the nearest 0.1 ml with practice. So we have different uh, volumes and sizes of our graduated cylinder. We can also have 1 liter graduated cylinder. We have 100 ml. We have also 50 ml graduated cylinder. And we have also medicine dropper. So it's also basic one. So droppers are for addition of liquids, drop by drop. Okay, so it's just used for addition of liquids that is actually needs only drop by drop. Okay, and don't you know that 20 drops of your medicine dropper is actually 1 ml. Okay, so that is a trivia. So and you have your test tube rock. Test tube rock is used for hand that's used for it's used for holding, not holding, but it's used it is where your test tube rack will be put. Okay, so because your test tube rack has, if you are just going to put it, you cannot put it on a table in a standing position, because this is a curve here. So that will just that will make an accident, or it will just be that will just make an accident. Okay, if you just put it on a table. Okay, so in order for you to let it stand, okay, you need a test tube wrap. So that would be where you will put your test tube. Okay, at the circle there. So it's where your test tube is placed. Okay, and you have also a test tube holder. Of course, this is used to hold your test tube, especially during experiments that involves heating your test tube, so you need to have a test tube holder. Then we have also crucible and cover. Is actually used in moisture analysis, okay, moisture content analysis, and also gravimetric analysis. Okay, so eh, the sample is placed on a crucible, then it is actually heated at higher temperature, because your crucible is actually susceptible to higher temperature, and also it has also its moisture content. Okay, so it really needs a lot of time to do moisture analysis, but this actually used for moisture analysis crucible. Then we have also evaporating dish. Okay, this is actually used for evaporating liquids. Okay, so just put liquids here. It also holds your liquids. Then if you want to evaporate it, you can use evaporating dish to evaporate that liquid. Okay, you have also watch glass. Watch glass can be used as a cover. Okay, it can use as a cover uh, for beakers, especially if you are heating liquids that is in the beaker. So you can actually use watch glass for that. Okay, so that then you have crucible tongs. So this is actually used for holding your crucible. Okay, so if this is actually heated in a at higher temperature, so you can use a crucible tongs to hold your crucible. Then stirring rods are used for as a stirrer, okay, or as a stirring liquids, and also for solid samples. Of course, you can also use stirring rods to stir or also to to pulverize, okay, to pulverize also some solid samples. But actually, for pulverizing solid samples, you can use the mortar and pestle, okay. But it's very helpful also for stirring rods. But the stirring rods is actually the main purpose for this is used for stirring, okay, and mixing also components inside a container, okay. Then we have also a wash bottle. A wash bottle is contains your normally our wash bottle here contains uh, distilled water, okay. So wash bottles are used for dispensing small quantities of distilled water. So that's it. That's the wash bottle. Spatula are used for um, it's actually used for uh, getting amount or little amount of solid samples uh, in, and also to if you're weighing solid samples and you want to get a little amount of it in the container of where the solid sample is, so you need to have spatula, okay. Then you have also weighing paper. So weighing paper, we can also have we can use this as also as filter paper, okay. So weighing paper are just used for some experiments that involves mass differences, okay, for substances or extractions, okay, for solid samples that needs to have weight by difference. So you can use a weighing paper for that. Then you have utility clamp. So your utility clamp is actually attached to a ring stand. Okay, you have a ring stand there. If you're going to attach this and also your thermometer clamp, you can also attach that. So your utility clamp can be used for holding some glasswares like distilling flask. That's used for distillation and distilling setup. Okay, you have your condenser and everything. So utility clamp is used for that when it is attached to a ring stand. Thermometer clamp is used for a thermometer to hold to hold the thermometer, especially in distilling distillation setup. Okay, then you have your double burette clamp. It's used to hold your burette. Then you have your safety goggles and safety glasses. Then you have your centrifuge. Okay, that is actually uh, used for separating components at higher speed or in isa. It's actually revolutions per minute. Okay, so separating components in a sample using speed or centrifugal force. Then you have your stirring hot plate. So it's a hot plate with a stirrer. Okay, so if you have your magnetic stirrer, you place your magnetic stirrer inside your or glassware. For example, you have a beaker here. Then you have a liquid sample, then you place your magnetic stirrer, then you can use the steering hot plate to steer. So while heating your sample, it may be able to steer your sample also using the steering. Steering, there's a steering point here, okay? So then you have your balance. So it's used for weighing samples. Then you have your vortex mixer, and that's it. Okay? So those are just some laboratory equipments inside the laboratory. So I hope that you have uh, something that you understand, and also you are familiar with those some equipments. Okay, so because this is very important, especially if you are already in the laboratory setup.